Hello curious minds, welcome back to our channel. At our previous class I talked about acid and base, and today we are going to move to salt. From table salt on your food to the salt used in industry, salt plays a huge role in our daily lives. Ready to learn all about them? Let's get started. So what exactly is a salt in chemistry? In simple terms, a salt is a compound formed when an acid reacts with a base. The result of this reaction is usually a neutral compound consisting of a positive ion, which is cation, from the base, and a negative ion, which is anion, from the acid. Let's break this down with a basic example. When hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide, they form sodium chloride, which is table salt, and water. Now that we know how salt are made, let's dive into the properties of salt. Here are some interesting things to know about salt. Of course, the most obvious property of a salt is that it stays salty. Sodium chloride or table salt is a well-known example. It is used in cooking and food preservation. But do you know that there are many types of salt with different tastes and uses? For example, potassium chloride is a salt that can sometimes be used as a salt substitute in food. Now, another property is solubility in water. Salts are often soluble in water. That means when you add them to water, they dissolve to form a solution. For example, if you add a table salt to water, it dissolves and forms a saline solution. Third property is conductivity. When salt dissolves in water, they break up into their ions, which allows the solution to conduct electricity. This makes salt solution electrolyte. Just like acid and bases, salt solution can conduct electricity because of the movement of ions in the solution. Let's look at some examples of how salt are formed. As I mentioned earlier, salt are made by the reaction of acid and bases. Let's go over a few reactions to see how salt form. First example, sodium chloride. When hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide, we get sodium chloride and water. From the equation showing on your screen, this is a reaction that gives us a table salt. Another example is copper 2 sulfate, which is CuSO4. When sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, reacts with copper 2 oxide, we get copper 2 sulfate and water. The equation showing on your screen is an example of a salt that is used in various chemical processes, such as in agriculture. Now, let's answer this. Which of the following is not a salt formed by an acid and a base reaction? Sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, sulfuric acid, and magnesium sulfate. Drop your answer in the comments below. Salts come in many different types and they have a wide range of uses. Let's take a look at some common salts and what they are used for. First, we have sodium chloride. We all know this one. It's the table salt used in cooking, food preservation, and even in de-icing roads in winter. Second example is calcium carbonate, which is our CaCO3. This salt is found in limestone and is used in construction, as well as in antacid tablets to treat indigestion. Another example is magnesium sulfate, MgSO4, known as Epsom salt. This is used in baths to relieve muscle soreness and as a fertilizer in agriculture. Another example is potassium nitrate, KNO3. This is used in fertilizers and in the production of gunpowder. Salt can be acidic, neutral, or basic, depending on the acid and bases that forms them. Let's take a look at some examples. First is neutral salt. When a strong acid reacts with a base, the resulting salt is neutral. For example, sodium chloride is a neutral salt and has the pH of around 7. Next is acidic salt. When a strong acid reacts with a weak base, the resulting salt is acidic. For example, ammonium chloride, which is NH4Cl, is an acidic salt. Next, we have basic salt. When a weak acid reacts with a strong base, the resulting salt is basic. For example, sodium acetate, which is CH3COONA, is a basic salt. Now it's your turn to get involved. Grab some table salt and water and see how well it dissolves to form a saltwater solution. Try testing the conductivity of the solution with a small light bulb or conductivity tester. Don't forget to share your results and experience in the comments below. I love to hear them. Let's quickly recap what we have learned today about salt. So I said salt are formed when an acid reacts with base. Salt have many properties like being soluble in water and being electrolyte. I also mentioned that there are different type of salt and they are used in everything from food to medicine to industry. And I also mentioned that salt can be neutral, acidic, or basic depending on the acid and bases that forms them. I hope you now understand salt a little better and see how you use them in everyday life. Thanks for joining me today. My name remains Zainab Agbola from LearnCity. Until next time, keep exploring the amazing world of chemistry. Bye.